The controversial tragedy that has made its way to national news has begun to spark divisive tensions throughout the country. The fatal stabbing of Austin Metcalf, a Frisco teenager who was killed during a track meet, has generated nationwide unrest. On one side, Austin Metcalf was an innocent victim, while on the other, Karmelo Anthony was just protecting himself. It has dredged up political and racial strife and has the two sides at war. A war that has led to the harassment and threat to safety of these families. One of these threats to safety was the swatting of the victim's family. Swatting is when a person, typically anonymous, reports a false claim in order to have authorities rush out to a target's house. This is done as a hoax or sometimes with malicious intent, in hopes that heavy forces, like the SWAT, show up. As of now, there have been 2 confirmed incidents where police have been called to addresses linked to the victim's home. A Frisco police spokesman, Grant Cottingham, affirmed that officers responded to a gunshot call at an address tied to one of the Metcalf members on April 8th. Another gunshot call was made just 9 days later to a different address that belonged to a member of the Metcalf family. It is believed that the press conference held by the Anthony's defense team on the 17th incited this swatting. Jeff Metcalf, Austin's father, was in attendance that morning, but was promptly removed by police. Dominique Alexander affirmed that he was not welcomed, and then followed up with criticism, speaking on his character, suggesting his appearance shows how problematic the Metcalfs are. Alexander asserts it is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. This is then followed up by addressing racial components that Next Generation Action Network believes played a key role in how this case has been covered. These racist bigots try and prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy. He should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penny, and all the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Kayla Hayes, Karmelo's mother who represented the family during the conference, touched on the impact it has had on her children and the anxieties they're facing with these new threats to their safety. Although Frisco police told Fox News Digital their department does not have any reported cases involving the Anthony family being threatened.
Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her.
According to a new release by Next Generation Action Network, the group representing the Anthonys, Karmelo has been moved to an undisclosed location due to threats made against him and his family. The group shared evidence of said harassment in their release: a copy of Austin Metcalf's obituary that was allegedly mailed to them, a doorbell camera that shows a loiterer, and the final claim that there have been unwanted food deliveries showing up to their home. We are sharing images and documentation of the threats the family has faced this past weekend to make the public aware of the dangerous atmosphere that has been created, an atmosphere fueled by organized hate, systemic racism, and intentional misinformation. Next Generation Action Network speculates that the increase in threats is due to the protest that took place over the weekend. Jake Lang, who is best known for his involvement and arrest during the January 6 Capitol riot, hosted the rally in hopes to shed light on a growing epidemic of hostility and violence towards white Americans, as he proclaims. Jeff Metcalf criticized Lang and declared that his kind of rhetoric is divisive. Jeff has asserted his stance since the beginning, making it clear that he does not want his son's death affiliated with racial or political hustle.
Make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this. I don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know, they weren't there.
At present, all we can do is digest the information as it's released and reserve judgment while respecting the family's wishes.